What is going on, guys, and welcome back to Week 14 of the 2020 NFL season. It is Nick's Picks, and I am joined once again by my friend and co-host, Ben. Ben, how you doing?
I just want to say, as much as I hate Dallas, thank you to Dallas and Baltimore on Tuesday. Even though Baltimore's defense failed to give me a win
I'm gonna stop you right there. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Hey, you're just mad because I've gotten three. Okay, basically what I'm getting at here is I said last week Baltimore would win 34-17, and Nick, what was the score on Tuesday night?
The score was Baltimore go fuck, and Dallas was yourself, I think.
And that makes the score
128 for me and some bitch amount for the guy on the other end of this microphone.
I have 133. Nick is just very salty today, I think.
You know what? I don't want to talk about it. So,
I also got lucky like 3 of the last 4 weeks. I got 15 points within the last 3 weeks on just me being lucky. So I don't think that's really just more so like.
And the fact that you're only up 5,
so
insane.
It's really just me getting lucky if we're being honest here.
All right, so we start with the Thursday night game. We actually have a Thursday night game this week.
I was gonna say we actually have one for once.
It's actually a somewhat interesting game. Somewhat, not really. The LA Rams. Yes, the rematch of Super Bowl 53? 54.
3 or 4. One of them.
The New England Patriots against the LA Rams. I have the LA Rams winning this one 28-17. They've been a good team the last couple weeks. Even though the Patriots have played well, kind of here and there the last couple weeks, I think the Rams have just exceeded a lot of expectations lately. I have them winning against the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got the Rams winning. An odd score, I have them winning 25-20. Now, if I actually get this score, I'll be honestly losing my mind. I really would. But in all honesty, I got the Rams because their defense is more consistent than New England. And even though I actually surprisingly believe more in Cam Newton than Jared Goff, the Rams defense is the reason why I'm picking them this one. Again, I got the Rams 25-20.
All right, so the New York Giants going up against the Arizona Cardinals for the first Sunday games. And last week, the Giants I had losing 35-9 against the Seattle Seahawks. I didn't give that defense enough credit. I understand, I'm a Giants fan. You expect me to pick the Giants, and I am picking them 20-17. But here's the thing. With the Daniel Jones probably coming back, we don't know for sure, but most likely coming back, I would say the Giants offense got better, and the fact that they put up 17 against Seattle last week, I think if this offense puts up 20 points, I think they have a good shot at winning because this defense is going to give Arizona a hard time. I understand DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray have been pretty good this season, but Arizona's offense has been struggling the last couple weeks, and they've been losing some winnable games. So I think this is a very winnable game for the Giants. I don't want to talk about it too much because I know we're trying to go quick here, but I have the Giants winning this one 20-17 just because it is a very winnable game for the Giants.
I also have 20-17, but I have it in favor of Arizona, and the reason why is because of the question mark with Daniel Jones. If there was more confident that Daniel Jones was going to be fully healthy for this game, I would actually pick the Giants in this one. Because he's out, I'm very iffy. But the reason why I have Arizona over the Giants is because I think the Giants really haven't faced a receiver like DeAndre Hopkins, and even though they did really well against Russell Wilson, a very mobile quarterback, Kyler Murray is much faster and much more agile, in my opinion, than Wilson. So I think it's going to be an interesting one. But I do agree with you that the Arizona offense has been stalling, but I also this could be a very underrated and very good game, but I do think Arizona just squeaks ahead. Again, I got Arizona 20-17.
All right, the Houston Texans going up against the Chicago Bears on Sunday. I have Houston winning this one 32-14. The reason the differential is so big, even though that I don't think the talent between these two teams is that I just feel like Chicago's offense has been absolutely horrific the last couple weeks, and the Texans have been slowly getting better as the season goes on. No, they're not going to make the playoffs. It was a little too late for them. But at this point in the season, I think Houston has shown that they're a much better team than Chicago all around, whereas Chicago only heavies focus on their defense.
I got Houston win this one actually I was really going back and forth on this because I went with Houston and I have them winning 21-20, and the reason why I have it close because even though the Bears have a far better defense than the Texans, at the end of the day I also feel more confident in Deshaun Watson compared to who's the Bears quarterback? Is it I don't know if it's Trubisky now.
I think they went back to Trubisky.
Yeah, so even I have way less confidence now. I should almost change the score at that point. But I also think the Bears defense will at least keep them in the game. But I also think many Bears fans are like Allen Robinson and just want to jump ship at that point. But again, I got Houston winning this one 21-20.
Are you going to watch this game? I don't think anyone's going to watch this game, really.
I'm not going to
the Dallas Cowboys
in either of these cities.
The Dallas Cowboys and the Cincinnati Bengals. Dallas has had a rough year injury-wise. They had a lot of potential going into the year. It's just kind of all falling apart on them. Cincinnati, we didn't really expect too much out of the season, but we expected to get a glimpse at Joe Burrow, and we lost him for the year. So not a great year for either of these two teams, but I do think the Cowboys still have the better roster overall at the end of the day. So I do have the Cowboys winning this one 23-14 over Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's kind of really, you know the expression pick your poison? Well, this one is just basically pick the shinier trash bag, because both these teams are not great. And it's not really the fault of Cincinnati. It's on them because they just don't have a good team in general, even if Burrow was healthy. But Dallas, I think it's like they're slightly better, but like not by much. So I got them winning this one 17-14 just because, I mean, someone has to win this game, I think, right?
Okay, very, very good game. Very interesting game. The Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Miami Dolphins. Now, I do have the Chiefs winning this one 31-27 over Miami, but there's just something interesting that I wanted to bring up about Miami, and that is that Tua hasn't turned the ball over still. And granted, he hasn't played all season. He's only maybe been playing the last couple weeks, but he's a rookie. He hasn't turned the ball over once yet. I think that is insane. You're going up against the Kansas City Chiefs, who they don't have the best defense in the world, but they have a better defense than Miami, I think, has been used to seeing these last couple weeks, and you might see that change this week. But the way Tua's playing, I could see Miami pulling this upset. The right answer, though, is to go with the Chiefs. Again, 31-27.
Yeah, I got this one in a close one. Only reason why is because Miami's defense is very, I think, underrated. I think they're like top 5 or like top 10 in like points allowed. Like they're like, or like scoring defense basically. Like they're not really like allowing them that much points, and that could help them in this game against Kansas City. But Kansas City has so many weapons that I think it's gonna be hard for them to do it. But I do have KC only win this one 28-26 because I think Miami's defense will at least do enough to like keep them close. But I do feel more confident in the Chiefs' offense against that Miami defense.
All right, so something I've seemed to notice as a trend throughout this week's picks is that there are a lot of games where you look at the matchup and you think, all right, well, the obvious choice is Tampa Bay. Or the last matchup, the obvious choice is Kansas City. Or you go to, even later in the week, the Colts and the Raiders. The obvious choice is the Colts. But it's just a lot of games so far this week just seem like you look at them, it's like, wow, this is a really big upset opportunity. This is one of those games. The Vikings have a very good shot at upsetting Tampa Bay because Tampa Bay hasn't played well. They're coming off of a bye week, which is probably the most helpful thing for them and why I am picking Tampa, because Tom Brady is very good off of the bye generally in his career. But this is a very, very big upset opportunity if Tampa continues to play the way that they did right before the bye week. And Minnesota has been playing better as well, too. So very easy opportunity here, but I do have Tampa Bay 35-28.
And this is where I differ with you. I got Minnesota 27-24, and here's why. Minnesota right now is 6-6. They started out the season 1-5, and then they turned a complete 180, and they are now 5-1. And Tampa in their last 5 games, not only are on a 2-game losing streak, they only won 2 of their last 5 games. So Tampa looks like they're trending down, and Minnesota is trending up. Now, granted, Tom Brady is very good after a bye week, and I understand all that. But I do think Minnesota, this is like a trap game basically for them in the sense that they might be able to upset Tampa Bay here. So I got Minnesota winning this one, again, 27-20.
I think we've all noticed something about Ben's picks. He's okay if another team is 5-1 in their last 6 games. He'll pick them no problem against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But when the Giants are 5-1 in their last 6... No, they're still trash. Okay. They're still trash. All right, another former Super Bowl matchup, rematch, I should say. The Denver Broncos and the Carolina Panthers. This one I remember. This one was Super Bowl 50, where both quarterbacks no longer play for the team, which is good for Carolina because maybe their quarterback will dive on a fumble. I'm sorry, that way too old of a joke. Way too old of a joke. I'm just gonna stop talking. I have Carolina winning this one 21-13. Denver sucks.
Jesus Christ, Nick. Well, the good thing about Denver is that even though, unlike that Super Bowl, they don't have Peyton Manning, at least, to my knowledge, they will have all their quarterbacks this week.
Does that matter, though?
No, not really. I got Carolina winning this one 23-20. The only reason why it's close is because it's Carolina.
All right, so the Tennessee Titans playing Jacksonville this weekend. Tennessee 30-7. Like, all right. So Tennessee lost last week pretty bad, or not, I wouldn't say pretty badly. They fell down pretty badly to Cleveland, but managed to come back in the second half of the season. I don't think that's quite time to hit panic on Tennessee against contenders. I mean, obviously not for this game, but like moving forward, I think you don't worry too much about Tennessee. I just think Cleveland has been playing really good football lately, and they caught Tennessee by surprise in the first half, but Tennessee definitely came back. So overall, I think Tennessee is still a better team than Cleveland, but I wouldn't get too overworked about their loss last week to Cleveland. But obviously, they beat Jacksonville this week.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got Tennessee winning this one 28-10, mainly because I think Jacksonville is just trying and hoping that the Jets will. Spoiler, knowing who they're playing against this week, probably won't.
They're not. Well, hey.
Straight, it's 2020. Who knows?
Seattle lost to the Giants.
Okay, well, the Giants at least have it, so I wouldn't go that far. But nonetheless,
that's the nicest thing you've ever said about.
We're getting there, but no, I got Tennessee winning this one 28-10. Like I said, just because Jacksonville is just they have nothing.
Okay, so another game this week in which I could see it being an upset. I mean, this one's not really like too big of a gap to where you would consider it an upset if the Raiders win, but the Colts are the better team and have the better shot at not only winning their own division, but making the playoffs. I do like what the Raiders have done this year. I like their matchup against Kansas City and a few other good teams that they've played this year. But I give the edge here to the Colts, 34-31. Really, I don't have much more to say about it. I just think that I would rather have the Colts offense as a whole than Las Vegas offense, because I think their defenses are pretty even. But even though I like Carr a little bit better than Rivers, like age-wise and like current talent, I think overall as a whole, Indy has a better offense. So I'm going to pick Indy.
Yeah, this is one of those where we're going to differ just because I feel more, I feel a little better about the Raiders and the fact that I feel more comfortable with their defense compared to the Colts defense, which is weird because the Colts have been very well defensively, but I got the Raiders winning this one 26-23, mainly because I think, I don't know, this is just one of those where like it's the same thing with Minnesota and Tampa Bay, where it's just, there's something about like, I just feel like, I feel like Las Vegas can pull the upset. I do believe it will be an upset, obviously, but I do think that they have the talent to pull that upset, and, at least they're not playing Atlanta where I guess when they play bad teams, they shit the bed.
All right, so Seattle Seahawks playing the Jets. I've already talked enough about Seattle and how they played last week. Obviously, they have offensive line issues. I think that's going to hurt them when it comes to the playoffs. Whatever, cool. Seattle's winning this game 24-6. I'll get that out of the way. Done talking about Seattle for a second. Let's just talk about the New York Jets here for a second. They had a damn win right in front of their face. 13 seconds left, and all they had to do was prevent a Hail Mary. What is the last defense you call when you are protecting a Hail Mary? You don't have to know football. All you have to know is you're trying to stop people from getting 60 yards. So what would you do? You would put people back there around where you're trying to protect so that they can't get into that area, right? Right, Ben? Like that seems logical to me, right? Am I overthinking this? Am I just stupid?
I mean, I always think you're stupid, but I mean well, first off, I'm going to say this right now. I got Seattle in this one 32-10. It's not
There's no way.
Well,
you cannot convince me the Jets didn't do that on purpose.
Well, here's the thing. Greg Williams has somehow, I didn't realize until they said it, he has a history apparently in these situations where not once, not twice, but 3 times now, including last Sunday, where in these situations he decides to send the house, like engage 8 here on Madden, basically, where he just send everyone but 3 safeties out over the top. Like, apparently that's his go-to in these situations.
All right, in case nobody watched the game last week and you're a little confused what we're talking about, the Jets played the Raiders. Raiders had the ball with 13 seconds left around the 50-yard line. And the Jets, instead of playing prevent or just Hail Mary defense, decided to blitz eight out of the 11 people on their defense. They blitzed 8 of them, leaving all 3 receivers that were out there. Actually, there was more than 3. All of the receivers at least one-on-one. And it ended up leaving, I don't remember what the receiver's name was that caught the touchdown.
Ruggs.
It ended up leaving him wide open freaking open for a touchdown.
Like, Henry Ruggs is a speedster. I mean, I think Tyreek Hill's faster, obviously, but, like, he's next to him, and it's just, oh, my God.
You cannot convince me. They know damn well that the Jacksonville Jaguars are fighting for that 1 pick, too. You cannot convince me the Jets did not engage 8 on purpose. Like, that is the most blatant tank I have ever seen in the NFL.
Before we move to the next game, because it is with my team, Nick, which was more stupid, Atlanta with the onside or this by the...
Honestly, I would say Atlanta with the onside because...
I agree. I'm with you.
I would like to think that Atlanta was actually trying to win that game. I don't think the Jets were trying to win. I really don't. I really don't. All right. Sorry. We talked way too long about that last game. The Green Bay Packers going up against the Detroit Lions. I have this one in my 2-point conversion, so I'm going to leave this one at a score, and that is Packers 35, Lions 17, and we'll get to this more for me on my 2-point.
I got Green Bay winning this one 30-20, mainly because Aaron Rodgers is, I think right now, I think it's between him and Mahomes as far as MVP candidates right now. I mean, Wilson, I think, has a chance still, but I do think it's between those two. Aaron Rodgers he's just amazing, honestly. Like, like what he does offensively as a quarterback, like there isn't a throw, at least that I can think of, that Aaron Rodgers can't do. And like also one thing that I found this out as well. Did you realize, Nick, until the Packers signed Tavon Austin, Aaron Rodgers has never thrown to a first-round wide receiver until that point.
All right, the New Orleans Saints going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. This is another one of those games where you could see an upset happening just because Drew Brees still isn't playing. That's literally the only reason I could see Philadelphia winning this game.
I don't still.
Yeah, beyond that, I have New Orleans winning this one 34-17. Jalen Hurts has actually been named the starting quarterback for this game over Carson Wentz. And it's not due to injury. Carson Wentz is now second string. He will play backup. So just a lot to figure out in Philadelphia. I don't think Doug Peterson's going to have a job after this year. I really don't know what they do with their quarterback situation. You're paying Wentz too much to just get rid of him. I really don't know where Philly goes from here. As a Giants fan, I hope that place is downhill. But New Orleans, I have winning this one 34-17.
So in this game, I just, as you're saying, I just realized we both have our rivals. You with Philly and me with New Orleans.
I hate the Cowboys more.
Yeah, true. Anyway, I mean, I hate the Saints like so much, but at the end of the day, I got the Saints winning this one 27-14. I think there is talks that Drew Brees will be back either next week or at least week 16, so he will be coming back soon. But the way the Saints defense is playing and the way that Taysom Hill, surprisingly, now granted, 2 of the games that he's played were against Atlanta, so let's not say he's all that great, but he has played well in recent games with Drew Brees out. But surprisingly, I feel more confident in Taysom Hill. I don't know why. I mean, at least Philly. At least you don't have Carson Wentz throwing interceptions and getting sacked by a terrible line. Now it's Jalen Hurts that will throw interceptions and get sacked by a terrible offensive line.
All right, the Atlanta Falcons playing the LA Chargers this weekend. I believe the LA Chargers have been officially eliminated from the playoffs. I thought I saw that right.
Yes.
And I don't think the Falcons are official yet, but they might as well be. So this is one of those games where obviously LA is done. They don't have anything to play for. If LA's smart, if I were the Chargers, I would put Tyrod back in. Do not get Herbert injured these last 3 weeks in games that don't matter. As with everything that's gone on this season with quarterback injuries, put Tyrod in for the love of Christ. But regardless, I do have Atlanta winning this game, and it's because the LA Chargers defense hasn't been playing that well lately, just with all the injuries that they've had and just everything going on with the Chargers right now. Atlanta, they've been bad all season, but they have this weird tendency to beat teams like this. So I have Atlanta winning this one 28-20 over LA.
I mean, I'm with you. I do have Atlanta winning this one. I have them winning close. I have them winning 28-27. And it's just one of those where, like, I mean, it's so weird. For you as a Giants fan, you want the Giants to keep winning because you have a chance at not just making the playoffs, but winning the division, more so the division. Atlanta, I don't know how, at 4-8, they're not eliminated. Still a chance to make the playoffs, which means they'll probably win the next 4 games. And probably not, because they play, like, the Chiefs and Bucks twice. So, like, not going to happen. But I do have Atlanta win this one close because somehow, some way, they're going to ruin their draft stock. We'll probably sign, like, a pass rusher that ends up doing terrible. Cough, cough, Vic Beasley. Cough, cough, Tack McKinley. And, just I'll live in purgatory.
All right. The Washington football team has shocked the world and finally ended the undefeated streak of the Pittsburgh Steelers after 11 games, a streak that we all thought probably should have ended a couple of weeks ago. But regardless, Washington is the team that gets it done. I don't hold that as highly of an upset as the Giants beating Seattle last week. Obviously, it's because I'm a Giants fan, but like at the same time, we all knew that there was something deceptive about the Pittsburgh Steelers 11-0 season, and that they were doomed to lose eventually. I figured it would have been against Buffalo next week, but Washington gets it done last week. So they play the San Francisco 49ers this week, and, as much as, we're talking about the fact that Pittsburgh deserved to lose eventually. I don't think anyone's quite talking about the fact that Washington kind of did deserve to win that game. Washington has been playing very good football. This just seems like one of those games where they come down to earth. Like, the problem I have with Washington is they're playing really good football lately, but that's because they don't have that tough a schedule to end the season. They played a lot of their tough teams early on. So I think this is where Washington comes down to earth. I really hope so as a Giants fan, because right now they're tied. So I have the 49ers winning this one 24-21, but damn, I hope so.
And this is where we differ once again. I got Washington winning this one 24-20, and it's really more so mainly because I feel more confident in the Washington defense than the Niners defense. I mean, then again, the Niners have like no one on defense, at least healthy-wise. We also didn't think that the Steelers probably would lose in the sense that, well, people might have thought that no one would beat the Steelers. Well, you're right. No one did beat the Steelers. A team with no name beat the Steelers.
All right, so the Pittsburgh Steelers, this is the game that we kind of figured that they were going to lose after not losing to Tennessee and Cleveland earlier in the season, the only two good teams that they've played. I figured it would happen here against Buffalo, and even though they lost last week to Washington, I still think Pittsburgh loses this one just because overall they're not as good of a team as Buffalo, and they just haven't played anybody good all season, and I understand. The first thing that every Pittsburgh Steelers fan says when you bring up the fact that they haven't played anyone all season is that Kansas City hasn't played anyone all season either. Kansas City's combined team record is like 33-50 or something like that. Listen, there is a big difference between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It has nothing to do with who they played this. Well, actually, it has everything to do with who they played this season. The Pittsburgh Steelers have played close games all year against teams with losing records all season. They've been playing close games. Kansas City's been blowing the frick out of all of the bad teams that they played this year, and the few good teams that they played, they still beat the crap out of. Don't remember if I said my score. I will say it again, though. 34-27 Buffalo over Pittsburgh.
So Kansas City have actually played playoff teams. They've beaten teams like Buffalo. They've beaten teams like Tampa. And yes, they did lose one week. I think it was like week 4 against Las Vegas. They ended up beating them again. So Pittsburgh, their only playoff teams that they really beat was Baltimore, in my opinion at least, and Tennessee. Tennessee was a close one, but they almost lost to Baltimore both times. First when they were fully healthy, and then to the Pride. So that's why I feel more confident in Buffalo, because Buffalo actually, both teams play very good defense, but I feel it's something about Buffalo for once. Maybe I'm turning over a new leaf with Buffalo. I have Buffalo winning this one 28-26 over Pittsburgh because I do think it's going to be very close, and it's going to come down to the Bills' defense being better than the Steelers' defense. But it's really Pittsburgh just facing also good competition, at least. I wouldn't say Washington was good competition, but this is actual competition that fully healthy, I think the Bills will still be able to beat Pittsburgh.
Okay, ending the week off with an AFC North matchup. It's the Cleveland Browns against the Baltimore Ravens. Earlier in the season, I probably would have had these scores flipped around, but right now, the Cleveland Browns win this game 33-20 over the Baltimore Ravens because Cleveland has been playing phenomenal football lately. And I hate saying that because I don't like Cleveland all that much, but Cleveland has been playing very, very, very good football lately. Baltimore, quite the opposite, like literally 180, completely different. They haven't been playing very well at all. Granted, they lost Lamar Jackson for a few weeks, and they won last week, but it was against Dallas. I think Cleveland has just been playing really well, too well for Baltimore. I think they win this game, and I think they push Baltimore. Obviously, it won't mathematically eliminate them, but I think Cleveland assists pushing Baltimore out of the playoffs.
I'll put this way. This originally, like 2 weeks ago, I was going to have Baltimore winning this. And I was still very close to putting Baltimore winning this one. But the reason why, well, there's actually two reasons. One, I want to have another game where we tie in, or at least so I can keep my lead. But in all seriousness, Cleveland early on against Tennessee looked very, very good. Yes, they almost blew it, but I mean, I kind of expect that from them. But I do, and I'll go more into my two-point conversion, but I do have Cleveland winning this one 30-28, mainly because I believe more in the Browns' defense than the Ravens' defense. But I do think that this is going to be a very, very, very close game, and I do have Cleveland winning this one.
Okay, moving on to our two-point conversions. Ben, I knew, is going to stick with this game, but before he does, I'm going to go back to the Packers and Lions game on Sunday, and it's going to be a simple one for me. Look, I'm down 5 points. I'm looking for a free two. I mean, this isn't a free two, but it's not exactly my toughest two-point conversion all year. I have that Aaron Rodgers, the right now second place MVP candidate, will throw 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 touchdowns against his rival Detroit Lions this upcoming week. And that's it. That's literally my two-point conversion. The reason I say that is because I think that the gap right now between Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers is fairly large. I think that right now Patrick Mahomes is the clear-cut MVP candidate, and it would take something miraculous out of either Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers to take that away from him. But I think a 4-touchdown performance against Detroit, and barring whatever Patrick Mahomes does this week against the Dolphins, I think that'll help Aaron Rodgers a little bit sneak his way into that MVP race. But I do think this is Patrick Mahomes' race to lose. So Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdowns against Detroit is my 2-point. Ben, what is yours?
Both these two teams, Baltimore and Cleveland, have the top 2 rushing offenses. Baltimore's number 1, Cleveland's number 2. Also, one thing that I found out was that Cleveland has 2 running backs over 700 yards with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. So they're doing amazing when both teams are doing great running the ball. I have that the Ravens and Browns in this game on Monday night will both combine for over 300 rushing yards and at least have 3 rushing touchdowns between the two of them. Now, if Cleveland gets all 3, then that's fine, but the Browns and Ravens will combine for over 300 yards rushing between their two teams and 3 rushing touchdowns.
Okay, so once again, Ben has taken his largest lead of the competition with his 3rd score prediction correct last week between the Ravens and Cowboys. He is up to 133 points, getting that 3rd 5-point bonus. I, unfortunately, only had my normal 10 points last week, so I finished with 128. So Ben, 5 points ahead of me now, 133 to 128 in the Ghost Pepper Challenge. The weeks, we're coming down to an end. We have, after this week, 3 weeks left of NFL regular season football, and then we hit the playoffs. Ben, is there anything you want to say if there's not too much background noise before we head out?
I just want to say thank you to Tennessee, thank you to Arizona, and thank you to Baltimore for giving me 15 extra points throughout the last 4 weeks. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. With that being said,
15 extra points, and he's only up by 5. I would like to point that out.
Hey.
I'm just
Different
saying.
formula,
I'm just
same
saying.
result.
You've gotten 15 bonus points that I have not been able to get, and you're only up by 5. So I hope you guys enjoyed Week 14's picks. Stay tuned for next week, and just more on the channel to come. I'm pretty sure I've already mentioned this, but 2021, the start of the new year, that is when I'm going to really heavily get back into my channel, and you're going to start seeing more uploads than just these picks. But right now, throughout December, I'm just focused on A, getting better because I've been sick for the last 4 weeks, and B, just getting everything set up so that I can start pushing stuff. But at least for this month, I'm focusing most of my energy on these picks. So I hope you guys are enjoying these picks, and I will see you guys next week. Have a great one. Peace.
Bye.